Francis Ngannou, Big Mush. I'm your daddy. I'm the daddy, me. I'm the baddest man on the planet, and I'll give you the best hiding you've ever had, you big dosser. Sign the contract, you big stiff idiot.
What's going on, people? Shimanda YB back once again. So these are a bit old, yeah, but I said the other day, I ain't a hater, yeah, and some of these bars from Fury, they were reminiscent of the old times when what Fury said had some weight. I might go back one day and do the whole David Haye versus, that's my favourite one of Tyson Fury, David Haye toe to toe. Yeah, Tyson Fury toe to toe with David Haye. I think it's like 10 years old now, 12 years old, but anyway, here's another one.
And also, I'm in the prime of my life as well. I'm 34-year-old, as strong, as big, as fucking fat as I've ever been. I'm looking to sign a 10-fight deal. I ain't going nowhere. I ain't fucking going nowhere! I'm coming for all of you motherfuckers out there. I'm the baddest man on the planet. I heard Joe Rogan say something about me the other day, and I've been off all the social media, so I didn't reply to that little pussy. Little fucking midget, bald-headed midget. I heard him say that John Jones could fuck me up if we went in a room together. I don't think so. Not a man born from his mother can fuck me up in a room on our own. Whatever happens in that room, I'd be walking out. Not a fucking problem.
And there's one more here. Where is it? Here we go.
I see John Jones has piped up. John, you're talking about me in a cage. I'm not a cage fighter, mate. I'm a boxer. The best boxer, actually. So if you want to come into a boxing ring and fight me, be my guest. Let me know. You don't have to call anybody else. No Darners, nobody. You call me. Because it's a boxing fight and I'm the boss in this game. Me. You're a great fighter, John. But you're definitely no boxer, and that's for sure. All the best. Good luck. I see John Jones has piped up.
That last one wasn't funny. The funny ones for me was in. You know what? Let's go back and let's do it a quick time. The funny one for me was, and I've seen people meme this as well. The memes are like, what is it? I don't know. It's something to do with your missus or whatever. I'm your daddy. I don't know. I can't remember exactly what it was, but they were funny. But where is it?
Francis Ngannou, Big Mush. I'm your daddy. I'm the daddy, me. I'm the baddest man on the planet, and I'll give you the best hiding you've ever had, you big dosser. Sign the contract.
I don't know what it is, yeah, but you know what I'm like, yeah. I ain't sus, but I wish I was sus to some extent, because trust me, what was it? They say you hear men complain about women, yeah. You hear what is it? You hear women complain about men. You never hear men complain about men. Yeah, if you're caning the Grinder app, yeah, if you're banging Grinder, ain't no one making no complaints, man. Just stay beaten anyway. But the relevance of that is, I don't know, I find it makes me laugh, yeah, when one man calls another man, I'm your daddy. Do you know? That's like Bubba in jail. Do you understand that? If Bubba's your daddy in jail, it's like, that's the peakest thing. As a man, it's the peakest thing, I believe. For another man to be your daddy. Unless you're, obviously, if you're a bottom, yeah, if you're a bottom or a twink, then it's different, because that's what you're playing your role. But if, as a heterosexual dude, yeah, to be put in a situation where that other man, next man, is your pops, or it's not even pops, sorry, next man is your daddy. That to me is the pinnacle. Nothing in life can be peaker than that. Do you know what I'm saying? I believe it's even if you said, oh, but why be, losing a child? I don't know. I haven't got kids yet, but losing a child would be less traumatic, yeah, than some next big dude becoming your. Do you understand that? That's how I feel, man. That's how I feel. In fact, that's quite an interesting situation in itself. Like, parents out there, what would you do? You got a choice, yeah. I mean, I can even apply it to my own life. So I've got parents, thankfully. So parents and children are similar things. I guess having children's more, it's a more powerful bond than parents. But either way, similar kind of stuff. What would you do? Yeah, would you get daddied? Would you get topped by some next man, or sacrifice one of them? I'm not even sure where to start, man. It's one of them ones. You'd have to live it. You'd have to see it to believe it. I don't know what you know what I mean. I don't. I don't know what to say, man. But anyway, that's why I find these references so funny. You know what I mean? Because I don't think Tyson Fury is going as deep as I am, yeah. But essentially, that's what people are saying. Yeah, I'm your daddy. Yeah. Females may call their man daddy. You understand that? That's the bottom line here. We can sit here and lie. Oh no, why be you're deeping it too much? Listen, that's the bottom line. Yeah, the bottom line is, I'm your daddy. Yeah, if we was in jail, you best believe it. Listen, if we was in jail, you'd be making it pop, 100%. Oh, it's a madness. Listen, I'm sweating, man. The weather's mad right now. Pop Tamale's sweating. Anyway, that was the first one. The other one, the Joe Rogan one, was just funny as well. Where are we? Here we go.
I heard Joe Rogan say something about me the other day, and I've been off all the social media, so I didn't reply to that little pussy. Little fucking midget, bald-headed midget. I heard him say that John Jones could fuck me up if we were in the room together. Fucking midget, bald-headed midget. I didn't reply to that little pussy. Little fucking midget, bald-headed midget.
I don't know what it was. I do know what it was. What made me laugh about this one, yeah. Obviously, Tyson Fury's bald himself. And also, it's the fact that Tyson Fury's met Joe. They've had like several podcasts together. So, all Joe Rogan said was that if Tyson Fury and John Jones went into a room together, John would come out. I think that's a rational... I mean, I'll bet on that. Again, my gambling record's shot. But you best believe, if Tyson Fury versus John Jones was in a UFC fight, which is really, to some extent, people can say, oh, it's not a closed room, but it's more or less a closed room. I'll put the bank on it. I guess the odds would suck though, wouldn't they? So you wouldn't get there'd be no point doing it. But anyway, bear in mind, people, these guys have a relationship. Joe knows Tyson. They're not best friends, but to know someone and then come on there and say all they've done is put an opinion out there, which is not. It wasn't a hating one. For example, if Rogan had to come out and said, "Oh, Usyk will punch Fury all around the ring," I get that. But Joe's just telling the truth. So for Joe to tell the truth, and Tyson Fury comes out, what did he say? Let me listen again, man.
I'm 34-year-old and little fucking midget, bald-headed midget. I didn't say something about me the other day, and I've been off all the social media, so I didn't reply to that little pussy. Little fucking midget, bald-headed midget. I heard him say that.
Bald-headed midget. And Joe Rogan's about 5'6" as well, so Fury just going in. No sense of, wait a minute, I'm bold too. Just, the lyrics are just flowing. Do you know what I mean? And back in the day, this is how it felt with Tyson. Like anyone can get it. And the bars were rolling off his tongue. Bald-headed midget. I mean, do you know? I'm your daddy, and you're a bald-headed midget. Maybe it's not that funny, but like I said earlier, I'm not a hater. Yeah. When things are on point, this thing, even though it's not real, even though it's just woof yet, but I'm gonna give credit where it's due. He made me laugh. You know what I'm saying? He ain't make no good boxing fights, but he made me laugh. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I've got to show that, I haven't got to do anything, but still, I like to show that when it's going on point, whether it's cracking jokes or whether it's making real fights once in a blue moon, you know what I mean? You have to get credit for that, because I judge things, people may laugh, oh, I judge things on a case-by-case basis. There's a lot of dudes out there, yeah, especially these days, the world's so polarised, they pick a side, and then they ride that side no matter what. No matter what goes on, they ride it. Yeah? They ride it like that side is their daddy. Do you understand that? Or they get ridden. They ain't riding nothing. Anyone who connects themselves to really anything without... It's a bit like... I hate to say it. I hate to bring religion into this, but... Well, scrap that actually. But listen. If you connect yourself to anything and there's flaws... in the system, and it's flaws in the system, like all of the hierarchy of Benonce children. No one's there. Do you know what I'm saying? Like the Catholic, like the certain churches, or not. It's not the certain churches. The whole religious structure. I believe people should have a personal relationship with God. Everything else, the minute you bring humans into it, that's when. Yeah, the minute you bring power structures in, that's when people get. It's renowned in every industry. The minute you bring power in, humans can't help themselves. So I ain't going to go to I ain't making you need to go to confession. I ain't going to confess to a non, essentially, you know what I mean? Oh, YB, join this particular religion, and every Sunday go and confess all your sins whilst he be doing way too much of his fit. What? So, just think about that for a second. Fact. People go to a confession box and confess their sins to a dude who be doing a complete madness himself. It's like, what? Make it make sense, people. But the point I'm making is that the world these days is so polarized, and I ain't trying. I'm not perfect, but when I'm wrong, my hands go in the air. Yeah, 99% of the time, and I'm dynamic. If the sitch changes, I'll change with it. I'm not gonna, I'm a theory hater, I'm gonna, this is rubbish. Listen, it made me laugh. What can I say? One of them ones. It's a funny one. Yeah, it's probably the only funny thing about Tyson Fury's whole shtick in the last 2 years. Truth be known, I ain't gonna lie to you. Anyway, let's go to John now. Let's go to John. I mean, Ngannou, let's talk about, you know what, I ain't talked about UFC. Let's talk about Ngannou whilst we're here, man. Ngannou, it's all relevant, it's all linked in. Ngannou has flapped it, people. Yeah, and again, it links back to the whole polarization thing. A lot of people, for example, if you're from Africa, a lot of people be shilling for Ngannou. Yeah, that's just one example. I guess, I bet there's a load of Irish people who shill for Tyson Fury as well. Let's drop all, I don't understand that. I don't understand connecting with your group no matter what. Like they're you know, I don't get that whole tribalism thing at all. Nothing's perfect. Most things are messy. So judge things on a case by case basis. Everything must be judged, myself included. Yeah? I mean, I'm the biggest critic of myself. I ain't telling no lies. What lies I told? Posted in the I come in and say, oh yeah, I'm a big boss. I'm in the basement. Do you understand? I know exactly where I'm at. I know exactly where I'm at. And on that basis, how am I going to make exceptions to other people? You know what I'm saying? It don't make no sense. Anyway, end of the day, people. Ngannou has flapped it. Yeah? He's flapped it and run off into boxing. Bottom line. Because all due respect here, Ngannou was mining the uranium fields before the UFC put him on. And yeah, he's a great athlete, but let's be real here. These guys, they want to come in and make demands, and they want to kind of, and yeah, listen, is Dana greedy, is Dana whatever? Listen, Dana built this from the ground, although he had big investors as well, to be fair, the Fertitta brothers, yeah? He was in there, grinding, working away, no doubt about it. And these guys, Dana didn't get to $500 million or $1 billion in 4 years like Ngannou wants to. It took Dana how many years? 35 years or whatever. These guys want to run before they can walk. Ngannou, really, he's not even like a Tony Ferguson or someone who's put 10 years in. This guy's 5 years. I think he started the sport like 6, 7 or even X amount of years ago. He hadn't even put half a decade in the UFC yet, and he's trying to make big demands. In my opinion, bear in mind, people, Ngannou versus Jones, that was his big fight. That was his fight where, if Ngannou washed Jones, that's when I'd be saying myself, you know what, Dana, this man is McGregor now. Pay him. Yeah? He's earned it now. But really, Ngannou ain't done nothing. He had one win against Stipe. Okay. Really, there should have been a third fight. Truth be known. But I get why there wasn't. But there should have been. For Stipe's, I believe Stipe has done enough. I don't rate Stipe like that, but I don't rate Stipe as an alien. That's how I judge things. Are you an alien or not? I don't think Stipe is an alien, truth be known, but still, I rate Stipe for his stats, and he won the first fight. Ngannou won the second fight, and if Ngannou really should do it again to show he's really another level. But he didn't do that, so I'm thinking, what's Ngannou really done? Okay, he had one. People could say it's a fluke win against Stipe. Yeah? One fluke win against Stipe, and you're out here making demands. Like, what? And you lost to the guy before. And then you beat some kickboxer. And you didn't even beat him. You laid on him for 10 rounds. 5 or whatever many rounds it was. Boring. Honestly, one of the most boring fights I've ever watched. What's Ngannou done? Had a good win, a fluke/good win against Stipe, and then sat on a dude. And you want to be making demands. Like, what? Do you know what I'm saying? Make it make sense, people. Big buff dude. That's what I can't be dealing with. It's these big buff dudes, yeah, who are just buff. Just buff. That's it. Because Johnny, he be really doing it like that. He coming up as well. That's what makes it worse. Ngannou ran off from a man coming up. That's like you. That's like, to be fair to AJ. Yeah, he lost his head, but to be fair to AJ, that's like AJ running off for music. Fury, Tyson Fury, one of them ones. But you know what I mean? That's the equivalent. Running off. Don't make no sense. Ngannou ran off. Ngannou should have said, "Listen, I'm daddy. I'm daddy in the UFC. I'm daddy of the super heavyweight division. Ain't no one gonna do anything. I'm keeping my belt. Come get some Jones." Instead, I want 20 million. I want 100 million. I want to be paid properly. Paid properly for what? In fact, he hasn't even made a legitimate title defense yet. What? You come on, people. You're telling me a man laying around who ain't even a wrestler? I mean, Ngannou didn't even make it look good. Habib is a wrestler, yeah? He makes wrestling look good. He stopped people. In fact, I'm pretty sure he stops everyone. Ngannou just went in there, and bear in mind, that guy, I've got his name, the French guy, who he laid on for 5 rounds. He has no ground game. Neither does Francis. It was like, wow, what are we doing here? And that shows Francis' mentality. Francis was scared to death of the hands. Francis is supposed to be the hands dude. You know it's bad when the hands dude is rolling on the floor, opting to roll on the floor. Do you understand that? And that shows his mentality. If you're scared to strike with random French dude, what are you going to do with John? You know what I mean? Because you can't roll on the floor with John. So, wait a minute, Francis don't want to strike with some random... All due respect, yeah, that French dude, he's okay with the hands. He ain't lighting the world up with them. You know what I'm saying? So, if you're scared to strike with him, you ain't going to want to strike with John. And you ain't going to want to roll around the floor with John. Hence, you run off into boxing. Boxing's a safe place to stay. Why? You can fight bums and get paid good money. But there's no legacy there for Francis at all. Yeah? And John's the man right now. John is Francis's daddy. He ran him off from his own division. That's just the fact, people. Yeah? He ran him off. Francis was a champion. This was his big fight. He didn't want it anyway. In regards to the Tyson Fury situation, John Jones has replied, "Hey Tyson, it seemed like Joe may have struck a nerve. I'll admit there's no one touching you in the ring right now, but let's not confuse you with what would happen if you stepped foot in my cage. If you ever want to put some of those questions you got going on." Yeah, listen, Fury ain't never going to do that. And again, I'd watch it, but yeah, John just another level, I believe. And it's a shame. I would like to have seen Francis versus John. I think that would have been... Really, I think Francis versus John, on paper, is probably the most intriguing fight of John's career. Even more than Cormier. Even though Cormier is more dynamic, Ngannou, he has that appeal, because he's buff. Bottom line, he's buff, man. You know what I mean? But anyway, I don't know what it is about these big buff dudes, yeah. They lose their head quick. Like AJ, the minute AJ was on, his head left very shortly after that. It's a bit like AJ fought Klitschko, and shortly after that, his head was gone. You understand? Ngannou beat Stipe, and his head's gone. You know, it's baffling. It's almost like the creator, or whoever made these big buff dudes, yeah, whoever engineered them, had to put a fail-safe in. I mentioned this the other day, like Dubois, big buff dude, but they've all got something in their brain where you can switch it off, yeah, because no one wants the what they call it, master, and or the master never wants to be undermined, yeah. So these entities that made these big buff dudes, they engineered weakness of the head, yeah, big strong things, but they know how to get them. They know how to make the head fall off. Ngannou head fell off. AJ head fell off. Yeah? 100%. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe, and leg off the bell 100%. No doubt about this one.